how long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah. Now, apologies fam. Now for the longest time, I've always had a huge fascination and appreciation, right, for the delinquent, the Japanese delinquent heroine type, right? I just think that, again, really badass, really cool, and their gap moe is pretty amazing if really done right. And I also have a lot of delinquent heroine characters that I also really love as well. Akutsu-san primarily is also really one up there. Saki as well from the Zombieland Saga series. And speaking of Saki, fam, whoo! Oh lord, Nakamura sensei really brewed with this one. The 30th girlfriend of the 100 girlfriends who really love this series. The 30th girlfriend who will enter the Rentaro family is none other than the sort of delinquent, right? The badass delinquent of Hanano-Mitsu High School, Tomogara Saki, or Saki Tomogara if we're talking, you know, English, just first name, last name basis, right? But anyway, yeah, fam, she is absolutely, I love her and I enjoy her character. Thus far, at least with her debut chapter, I feel like she's done, or she's portrayed this sort of very nice energy of being a delinquent character. One of the tropes that I also really enjoy with this particular delinquent character is that she's the sort of type of person who really wants to act tough but also has a soft spot within her, right? Now this is just gonna be my first initial impressions, right, of Saki. I really love Saki, and I've always, you know, had this question asked to me a couple of times, right? For most of you who know, I am a huge fan of Momoha, right? I even made a video during her debut, essentially, right, or a few days after her debut chapter, that she is my spirit animal, right? That I find Momoha to be a character that's so very close to me personal level, at a personal level, because of her values, of the way that she is, right? I see myself in her, and I also want to see myself envisioned to be someone like her, more or less, right? At least, again, to the side of her values and her ethics, right? But when it comes towards a personal taste, right, when it comes to heroines or character designs and such, when it comes to delinquents, fam, I absolutely think they're absolutely really up there, right? And yeah, I've always wished, I've long wished for a delinquent heroine. Hell, I even made a video talking about a hypothetical situation of which, what if there was a delinquent girlfriend, a delinquent heroine in this series, and boy, whoo, with the way Nakamura sensei brewed up Saki's character, I think that she is a pretty solid one. So we first see Saki as she called out to Rentaro when he was walking home at school, called her out saying, "Hey, are you Aijo Rentaro? You're that, I got a word to talk with you, right, in the back. So come, hop on in the back, let's talk this out," right? And right from the bat, when I saw her character design, I was absolutely stunned and really super happy with the design choice. So let's talk about that a bit, right? From the character sketch drawn by and shared by Nozawa sensei on X, Twitter, right? I really love the design. Specifically the choice that they went with having her wear her coat, right, over the shoulder, right? Because that sort of design choice really can be found in a lot of these sort of delinquent characters, right? I'm not so sure if that's also something that they would do in real life. It's not what I would do in real life, at least with some of my suit jackets or whatnot. I just think that sort of aspect is really cool and makes a someone, right, a character, really stand out and make them look so badass, right? Second point is the hat, right? The hat that they went, rather, it's indeed very so delinquent like, right, with this particular design. I forgot the name of it. An old school Japanese Breton cap, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that, right? That's the sort of design choice, with also including the sort of embroidery, or sorry, the sort of logo of a what seems to be a sakura flower on top of it. I think is really cool. The white headband or the white aesthetic to it really ties it all together, makes it very stand out in its own way, right? So that part I really love it. Body wise, right? Let's talk about the outfit that she's wearing underneath, right? her coat, right? Which, by the way, if you take a closer look at the design of her coat, I really love how Nozawa Sensei added a lot of these flower embroidery on the inside of the coat as well, right? Which I think is a very cute detail that can really bring out a lot of charm to Saki's character. Now, towards her initial attire, right, the simple attire, they didn't go with the sailor uniform, right? Although that seems to be sort of common. Another choice would be the sort of I forgot the name again. There we go. The Sarashi, yes. So the Sarashi is another one of those, choices or the sort of things that you would see as well from these common delinquent heroine tropes, right? The most recent or the most memorable one that I've really got to know, right, is the girl from Beelzebub, right? This one right here. Man, I forgot her name. Oh Lord, it's been a while. But instead of that, they went with a sort of, I want to say sports bra or whatnot, or a really cut tank top, but yeah, I'm going with a sort of modified sports bra of some sort, right? Because her abdomen part is, kind of exposed, which I think, kind of also fits this a sort of motif that she's a fighter, which is also complemented by the fact that she wears these sort of particular biker gloves. Correct me if I'm wrong again on that, but yeah, sort of gloves that look intimidating and ready for combat and whatnot, right? The waist down, from the waist down, she's wearing school uniform pants, right, along with a belt, right? Yeah, and the boots, man. Of course, I have the really badass boots as well. I also really love the fact that that Nozawa Sensei put on a height comparison as well with Uto and Kusuri to that of Saki, because Saki, mind you, is a technically first year college student, but she had to restart third year high school again, so that makes her a third year, right? So if we take all of the aspects of Saki's design into consideration, right, with the delinquent motif, from the way that she wears her jacket, the way that she has these gloves on, the way that she has her sort of sports bra design, and even her Breton hat, still correct me if I'm wrong on that, fam, right? Her cap and all that, the boots and everything about it, I think that it's absolutely a very solid, very delinquent character design. And I also really love how it goes to show, or it's really also complemented by Saki's hair design and even facial expression itself, right? And this is the other thing that I really love about Saki, is that her hairstyle, right, long, and that instead of going with a more very smooth and very straight look, right, Nozawa Sensei decided to go with the choice of having her hair sort of really spiky, right, very spiky, very flowy, really want to stand out and give it a sort of quote-unquote vicious look to her, right, to really portray her personality of being this tough person, right? And her eyes as well, fam. Good lord, I really love the design of her eyes. She has a similar eye style, right, to that of, for example, Kishika and Momoha, in the manner that it's very striking, right? Instead of looking so very bubbly or overly, for that matter, it's very striking, very fierce, right? I think that's a really good term as to how I can phrase it, right? She has a very fierce look. And even if we take a look at from under the cap, right, or from under her hat, I also love how she also has these braids going on with her, and this the right side of her hair, very unique design aspect to it, right? I'm not gonna go too full into detail with Saki yet, right? That's a video for another Telmirindo of Saki's character, right? But at least based from this chapter alone, I want to give you an idea as to what her deal, the gist of her deal, of her character is about, right? Now, there are a lot of different ways to approach writing a delinquent heroine or delinquent character, right? Whether they are big or small, or whether they're feisty, calm, or very cool, right? I love all of them, right? Character design wise and personality wise, if they're delinquent character, I've come to just really become attracted to them for whatever reason, right? And the way that Nakamura Sensei crafted, right, Saki is a very, yeah, in a way, it's simple, right? Simple, but it's also a very interesting twist on it, especially giving to what she, to her own mindset, right? Now, in the Hyakuno series, of course, the closest thing that I've gotten to see a delinquent from delinquent like energy, right, is in fact, from the Guerrilla Alliance, right, or from Karine when she dressed up as one of the members of the Guerrilla Alliance in the early chapters, in that episode in the anime, right? Super badass, super cool, and I really, really love it, right? But I've always searched, right? What I really want is a really solid girlfriend, a solid character who is very delinquent like, right, who portrays this delinquent energy. And the way that Nakamura sensei went with Saki is that she is a character who is quote unquote short but tough, right? A very a person who is short in stature but acts very tough, right? Because by emphasizing her sort of strength, right, or by emphasizing how strong she is, how she is the leader, right, of the top dog of the school, right, and how determined she is to really follow through with that sort of personality or with that sort of conviction, right? She really aims to also counteract the sort of prejudice of people looking down on her because she is so small, right? They look down on her figuratively and literally, right? And she doesn't want that. She doesn't want that at all, right? That's the one thing that she cannot stand, right? So in order for her to be respected by people, right, and in order for people to not look down on her, she chose to go with this sort of tough persona, right? And the mindset going forward with that, right? The mindset that allowed her or that made her think that, okay, what should I do in order for people to respect me, right? The mindset that she had is, well, the older you are, the more respected you are, right? And with that notion, it then transformed or led her to not graduate and to still continue being a third year high school student, but as the oldest third year high school student. But therefore, by being the oldest person in the entire school, she has then thought to herself as being the most important or the greatest in the school, so to speak, right? Here is where another one of the gap movies that I really find to love about Saki already is that when a kohai, right, addresses her as senpai, right, Saki senpai for that matter, I really love how she just feels so happy, smug in a way about it, just really happy and very proud as well to see someone acknowledge her as senpai, right? I think that's a very cute Gapmo way that she has to her very fierce character, right? But yeah, at least from this chapter alone, right, from Saki's debut, I got to grasp and understand really her situation, and really it's a very interesting one to see progress and see further develop throughout the series, especially when Saki will get to interact with the Rentaro family, more with the Rentaro family. Perhaps she'll also get along with other members, so it help her go through with some of these sort of issues or whatnot. Maybe she could also get along with Eira, for example, right? Or with Momoha. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to Saki's addition to the family. More to especially towards her personality. Will she stick to convictions or will she change, right? Who knows? But that aside, what I'm really, 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 really happy about is that finally we have a delinquent in the Rentaro family, and I love her. Saki Tomogara, she's amazing. With that being said, thank you for listening, family, and take care.